Okay, so I want to tell a little story about this thing that happened one time when my brother was in high school, so that would have put me in college. And he attempted to throw a party at our house. Hey, so I think I'm like a year out of high school, so my brother would have been in like 10th grade. And for those of you who don't know, he was not very popular in high school, right? He was socially awkward. Uh, I don't think a lot of kids liked him due to certain incidents I'm not going to mention here, which kind of humiliated him and made him an outcast in school. You know, girls didn't talk to him. He didn't really have a social life until he went to college. Now he's got a lot of friends. He's got a beautiful girlfriend who's amazing. This woman, Marie. You know, but in high school, yeah, he was still kind of a nobody. And he figures he'd fix that by throwing a house party when my mom was out for the night. So he sends out a couple invitations. I don't think he meant for a lot of people to show up. But you know how those parties work. You invite 10 people and suddenly 50 show up to your house. They don't care who you are. They don't have to know you at all. Their friend invites their friend. All they hear is the word party, and they're gonna show up. If they think there's weed and beer and some girls, they'll come. And that's exactly what happened. Because his 10 invitees quickly turned to at least 40 or 50, if not more. And there's carloads of kids fucking driving down the block, showing up to the house. But we're all like, well, cool. You know, as long as they don't cause a ruckus and destroy our house and our property, get the cops called, it's cool, whatever. And we had a couple of the biggest kids in High School West to serve as like bouncers. Kid Mike Spector, Jason Shelowitz, who's like 6'4", 200 something pounds, and about the biggest fucking kid I ever met in my life. His name was Eric Milsetic. And this kid was literally 6'8", about 335 pounds. I don't think I met a human being that big. I mean, I met Shaquille O'Neal in person, and although he was shorter, Eric was heavier than Shaq. A few more inches and he'd be Shaq. And yeah, he was just massive. Even next to Jay Shelowitz, who's like 6'4", 230, he made Jay look like a fucking child. And yeah, everything was going well. We were all having a good time. No fights, no problems, no one punching holes in our walls. The three of them didn't have to kick anyone out of the house. It was a pretty good crowd. And even some girls even showed up. Whatever. You know, it was about what we expected. We couldn't complain. And my brother definitely couldn't. So far, it was a success. And I said my mom was out. Well, she was supposed to be out for the whole night. But for some reason, we'll never know, she comes home early. Before we could even really get into it, night's just getting going. And her car pulls into the driveway, and you hear a collective, oh, fuck, right? Oh, no. Same as kids since the beginning of time would say when their parents show up a little early. Oh, fuck. It was just my mom at the time. They were divorced. My dad moved out. But as we come to find out, she was more than enough by herself. So she gets out of her car, and, you know, she could have calmly walked in the house and said, guys, my son's not supposed to be throwing a party tonight. When I'm not home, you guys gotta go. I'm sorry. You gotta leave. Have a good night. And everything would have been cool. But of course, my mom had to do it in style. Peggy style. So she basically runs through the house, yelling at all these kids to get out, right? What are you doing? You're not supposed to have a party. Sam, what are you doing? You didn't have my permission to do this. And she's looking at all these kids like, you gotta get out. You gotta go. You gotta go. And they're looking at her like, this lady fucking crazy? Like, is she on drugs? What's wrong with her? We're not even doing anything. It's a nice, like, calm party. We're not destroying furniture. We're just standing around chilling and talking. It didn't matter to my mom. She just keeps yelling at everyone to get out, and of course they leave, start walking to their cars and shit to take off. And you think that would have been enough. No. She runs outside. These kids are already getting in their cars, and she's still yelling at them to leave, right? Get out! You gotta leave! You gotta go! Get off my property! Blah, 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 blah. And now they're getting like a little scared and nervous, right? This lady's a total fucking psycho. I'm already taking off. I'm sitting in my car with it in drive. What is she doing? They go, okay, this has got to be the end of it. She can't get any crazier. No. She starts like walking out to the street, right, in front of the house and doing the same thing, like ordering everybody to leave. And everyone's like, what the fuck is wrong with Sam's mom? Like, if I knew his mom was this crazy, I wouldn't even have showed up. Damn, he has some psycho family or something. That's not the end of it either. Oh, what'd you think it was? No. She then takes the time to walk all the way down our block, Tree Hollow Court. We're talking a couple 100 yards down the block to the corner of our cross street, Sarah Drive. There are these kids that decided to park their car real quick for whatever reason on the corner of Sarah and Tree Hollow Court. They're just sitting in their car, minding their own business, not doing shit. And she starts like banging on their car window, telling them to get out. And me and Sam like followed her because it was like a bad car wreck. We just had to see it through. And we're behind her like, Mom, what are you doing? They're not doing anything. They left. They're on Sarah Drive now, Mom. They're not even on our block anymore. Like, I don't care. They need to leave. You need to leave. And these kids look like fucking terrified. Like, my mom is not a scary or intimidating person at all. But for probably the only time in her life, she scared the fucking shit out of somebody. Those kids put their car in gear and couldn't get out of there quick enough. And like I said, my brother was trying to take whatever little reputation he had and build it, starting with the party, and hoped to build a little more when it was successful. But not only was it totally ruined by this episode with my mom, but from what I heard, it pretty much ruined him for the rest of high school. Until they graduated and beyond, he was just the loser with the fucking psycho mom. Yeah. That was pretty much what he was known for after that. Unfortunately for him. And of course, he never threw another party, and even if he did, I don't think anybody would have shown up. Yeah, I highly doubt that. I wouldn't either. But, yeah, that was my little story about the time my socially awkward brother attempted to increase his stock by throwing a house party behind my mom's back. And she shows up unexpectedly and goes completely psycho and ruined his reputation once again. Put it right back where it started. What a night. What a fucking night.